Hi everyone, this is Super Chat 2024 Finals. Welcome to Malopolska. And tonight I'll be happy to finally meet our Super Chat finalists in person. So tonight I'll be joined by Miss Supranational Curacao, Chanel, Miss Supranational Haiti, Tarolin, Miss Supranational Nigeria, Sectra, and Miss Supranational Puerto Rico, Fiorella. Guys, please vote for your favorites and make their dream come true. The voting link is in the description box below this video. Download the app or click through the link and support your favorites. So we can start. Our candidates tonight will have 3 identical questions. Let's be moving on with question number 1. Hello Chanel, congratulations on making it to the Super Chat finals and happy to see you in Poland.
Hi Ivan, I'm really happy to be here. Thank you so much. I'm just ecstatic about being a finalist and it's nice to finally meet you in person and experience such a beautiful country.
Okay, so are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Question number 1. What is the difference between a good and a bad person?
The difference between a good and a bad person, I'd say the biggest difference would be a good person leaves something lasting behind that is positive, whereas a bad person might leave something lasting behind that can be negative. In the end, the way we move through life, how we inspire others, how we communicate with others, how we touch others' lives, it's encouraged for it to be positive, uplifting. I always say love is the highest energy of all, and I feel like that's the most transformational thing we can put out into the world. So yeah, when you are a bad person, I feel like it's in ways where you have a lot of healing left to do, and negativity can duplicate as well. You know, people in life, when they move through life not having that level of sensitivity for other people, they can almost create another bad person. And I say in quotation because I don't like labeling people. None of us were ever perfect. We were never good nor bad. Some maybe can label it to be either or. But I feel like even with bad people, there's always a light for them to change for the better. We're all here to learn. I don't like putting people in boxes, but I'd say the best way to make or differentiate the two is by emphasizing what they leave behind. So I'd say good people duplicate more good people, and bad people, unfortunately, duplicate more bad.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you, Chanel.
Thank you.
Tarolin, Miss Supranational Haiti, congratulations on making it to the Super Chat finals.
Thank you
and happy
so
to see you in
much.
person.
I know, it feels like whoa, no screen.
Yeah, no screen.
Thank you so much for having me, Ivan. I'm just so happy.
And welcome to
be here.
Poland.
Thank you. It's been a lovely experience.
Yeah. So here's your first question. What is the difference between a good and a bad person?
Ooh, I know. So the difference between a good and a bad person, I feel as if like it's a mixture of things. I feel there's a little bit of, no, let me say this. Okay. I believe that there is no bad person. I feel like we all have different qualities that can be positive in one light and negative in another light, right? But it's depending on the person. I believe in redemption, and that even if there are negative qualities, we can look to see the best in people and we can help push them to become better people. Thank you.
Thank you, Tarolin. Brilliant. Sectra, Miss Supranational Nigeria, congratulations on making it to the Super Chat finals.
Thank you.
And I'm so happy to see you in person finally.
I know,
Yeah.
after so many months.
Yeah. So here comes question number 1. What is the difference between a good and a bad person?
Good question. I think the difference is the choice that we make. There's no such thing as a good or a bad person. There's just good or bad choices. And so sometimes we make good decisions, sometimes we make bad ones, but it really depends on the circumstance and the situation that is happening. I know for me as a nurse, sometimes when I was sorry, when I was a newer nurse and I didn't really know too much, I sometimes was afraid to ask questions, but you can't do that in healthcare because it could really lead to someone's getting hurt. So that was a negative or a bad decision that I make, but it didn't make me a bad person. So I really think it depends on the decisions that we make and how we go about them in life.
Thank you. Brilliant, Sector. Thank you very much. Miss International Puerto Rico, Fiorella, happy to see you in person.
Same.
Yeah. And welcome to Poland.
Thank you.
And congratulations on making it to Super Chat
Thank you.
finals. Okay, question number 1. What is the difference between a good and a bad person?
I think the difference between a good and a bad person is that a good person chooses to focus on gratitude. I don't believe that there's anything such as a bad person. I think everybody comes from a different path in life, and some people don't have the right tools or education to take the best decisions. And some people might label that as bad, but I just think it's that life gives us different challenges and we have different ways of confronting them, And so I think that the difference is the education that you have to face challenges in life, but at the end of the day, what I do consider to be a good person is someone that chooses gratitude, to say thank you for every single detail that they have in their life. Because if we focus on the bad things, then we become bad people with the bad thoughts. But if we choose to focus on that we're alive, that's the biggest gift that we have. And we focus on that we have food, a roof over our table, and the opportunities that life presents to us, I think that makes us good people.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you, Fiorella.
Thank you.
Thank you for your answers, ladies. They're all different, but equally brilliant. Before we move on to question number 2, let me just once again remind our audience that you guys can support your favorites by voting for them in the Miss Supranational app. The voting link is in the description box below this video. Support them, and we would also appreciate if you support us by subscribing to Miss and Mr. Supranational official YouTube channel. So, question number 2. Question number 2, Miss Supranational Curaçao Chanel. What is the difference between a human right and a privilege?
I'd say a human right is something that I feel highlights a necessity. In this world, us as humans, a sense of belonging is a necessity. Food, shelter, water is a necessity. Mm-hmm. I'd say a human right would emphasize something that is crucial to a person's sense of survival. Whereas a privilege, it's not necessarily you need it, but you have a privilege to carry it out, to have it, to embody it, experience it. It's like you could survive in this world without it, but here you are and having the privilege of having that, whatever it may be.
Thank you, Chanel.
Thank you.
Question number 2 to Miss Supranational Haiti Caroline. What is the difference between a human right and a privilege?
This is an awesome question. The difference between a human right and a human privilege, I would say the right is something that is just essential. We have the right to live, right? And I believe that when we look at every single person and we look to see that they have a heart, that they are living, they are living, breathing people, and we look to see that they are people that deserve to flourish in the world, then we have the opportunity to just further push them. Thank you for that question.
Thank you, Caroline. Miss Supranational Nigeria Sector, question number 2. What is the difference between a human right and a privilege?
Another amazing question, thank you. I think human rights are things that allow us to live a fulfilled life, like water, food, a roof over our head, a good education, healthy food to eat. Those are things that we deserve and are right to by being humans and living on this earth. I think things more than that are privileges. So not everyone has to have a fancy car or or have luxurious clothing, but everyone deserves basic rights and they deserve opportunities to live a fulfilled life. And that's all what my From the Ground Up initiative is all about. It's really about creating a healthy world and providing those resources to people that need them. As a nurse, I know firsthand that sometimes insurance and money can stop someone from getting the health care. Sorry, I'm just really emotional about this, but getting the things that they need in order to live a good life. So it's really about making sure we have those essentials to be healthy and to be happy. Like I said, not everyone has to have the luxurious items, but we deserve peace. We deserve to be able to have somewhere to rest our head at night, and that's the difference between a right and a privilege.
Thank you, Secretary. Brilliant.
Thank you.
Miss Supranational Puerto Rico Fiorella, your time to answer today's question number 2. What is the difference between a human right and a privilege?
I think in a similar vein to my last response, a right is something that everybody deserves to have, such as access to good quality education, access to water, the power to be able to vote, versus a privilege is maybe that life gives you the opportunity of having access to these things that maybe in not all countries we have access to. Right now we're seeing a lot of challenges around the world between different countries, for example, and there's people that have certain rights and freedom, and then there's people that don't, and they might be seen as privileged people, but I think it's something that sometimes we cannot control, right? So it's important to us as advocates. For example, myself, I am a holistic health coach, and I fight for the idea of having education as a right that everybody has, but not only good, just normal education, good, high quality education, because this way countries can understand each other, we can come more to, a consensus and have all of these things available to people. So I think that that's the difference, right, between a right and a privilege. Privilege is just opportunities that come from where you're born. You can also make them, right? If you work hard, you can find the opportunities. And then rights are things that are categorized by countries. But again, I think that we as humans have the power to fight for equal rights. And that's what I try to do as an ambassador, of the things that I believe in.
Thank you very much, Fiorella.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Just one more question to go, but before that, I would once again like to encourage your fans and our dear supranational audience to support you in the Miss Supranational app. Check out the voting link below this video and vote for your favorites. Last question, number 3. Question number 3 to Miss Supranational Curaçao Chanel. Is it okay to limit immigration if a country is worried it will lose its culture?
Personally, I feel like if that is the main concern, I would say don't limit immigration if the fear is that the culture would be, in this case,
Lost.
Because I feel expanding one's borders and allowing for other people's cultures to come in and stream into the country only makes the country more dynamic, only emphasizes how we can be connected and live amongst each other despite the differences. I feel like a beautiful example of this is Curaçao, because I'm so proud to be born and raised on an island that actually celebrates diversity on such a small island of a population of approximately 160,000. We have over 65 different nationalities. I can remember sitting in class and just being amongst so many different shapes, sizes, colors, and I never felt like a sense of exclusion amongst us. We were all treated with the same amount of love and acceptance that our parents came from different places. I am a product of 2 immigrants. My father is Dutch and my mother is Jamaican, and I find their love a very beautiful story on how, we might be different, we might look different, but we can admire and love and accept different qualities just as they are. My father always admired my mother's skin, her beauty, her hair, and I feel like that also allowed me to accept myself as a person and how I look. My dad actually never encouraged me to straighten my hair in pageantry. He always loved my curly hair. He said, promise me one thing, promise me you'll never straighten your hair. So I did a big chop as a result, just to embrace my authenticity. And not to veer off the initial question, I feel any country that can handle opening their borders in a smart way should, because there are a lot of people around the world who are looking for means to survive. And if your country can handle it, I'd say open those borders, embrace different cultures, and allow your people to just share and love and embrace differences in this world.
Thank you, Chanel.
Thank you.
Supranational Haiti, Taroline, your time to answer our today's question number 3. Is it okay to limit immigration if a country is worried it will lose its culture?
I believe that we should not limit immigration. As a Haitian American, I know what it is like to have people, you know, whether they are family members or just people in my school or at work, you know, the Hispanic people, people from, all over the world. I truly believe that everyone has the right to live. It goes back to the previous question, right? We are all living beings, and I believe that we should be where we desire to be, and there should be no limitations, because if we feel that at home it isn't safe, or we can't have our dreams to be realized, then we should be able to situate ourselves where we want to go. And sometimes it's very unfortunate when the country doesn't welcome us. And as you know, as I mentioned, a Haitian American, I've seen the suffering that my Haitian people have gone through. And I truly believe that if we desire to see a better world, then we need to see our differences and welcome one another, truly love and accept one another. And I love this question as well, because I am just someone who is my heart just explodes for people in general. And so the fact that these are just so heavily based on the heart and of service, I think it just further displays like who we need to become, not even just what the people need to become, but us right here as people and, you know, as a better society. Thank you for that question.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Taroline.
Thank you.
Supranational Nigeria Sectra, time to answer today's question number 3. Is it okay to limit immigration if a country is worried it will lose its culture?
I think that's a beautiful question. I don't feel like we should limit each other from visiting countries, or if we decide we want to move somewhere. I feel like if you're someone who is not originally from a certain country, like me, for example, being in Poland, because it's so beautiful here, I think I might want to move here one day. But it's not fair for me to come in and impose my culture on the Polish community. You know, I should embrace their culture. I should learn about it. And so if you want to move to another place, that's fantastic, but don't think that you have a right to impose your views and your culture on that community. I feel like if we have that way of thinking, then we wouldn't have the fear of people imposing or losing their own culture.
Sure.
So it's really about learning, and that's what I love about Miss Supranational, is that there's so many cultures, so many countries that I never would have thought about going to, but learning the stories of my super sisters, I'm like, I need to visit you. So yeah, I think it's really important that when we go to different cultures and different countries, we learn about it instead of trying to impose our own views on those countries.
True. Thank you very much, Sectra, and good luck.
Thank you so much.
Let me Supranational Puerto Rico, question number 3. Is it okay to limit immigration if a country is worried it will lose its culture because of the immigrants?
I think that in life there are certain limitations that we have to put, but I am a supporter that when people are in desperate need of help, we should open our borders and give our hand to help, because at the end of the day, what is life if we're not fostering community and connections? And maybe we come from different countries and have different cultures, but at the end of the day, we're all humans. Yeah. And we all have the aspiration of having access to freedom, to liberty, and to community, like I said before. So I personally, I know it's more complicated than that, right? There's a lot of politics, religion involved, but if it could be more basic, I wouldn't limit. I would say the opposite, because I believe that diversity provokes innovation and new ideas and the continuation and evolution of society. If we don't have this, we're nothing. And this is what supranational is, right? That's why I think it's so, so important to have different kinds of voices heard. And again, coming back to what I've done all my life, of course, I am a businesswoman, and I've had the opportunity, for example, I worked during COVID to launch one of the biggest vaccines globally. I can't say which pharmaceutical because NDA, but I worked with people from Singapore, from India, from the United States, and having the different opinions really made us do a successful launch of the vaccine. And I think this is why it's important to open the borders, to let people in, to create innovation, to continue evolving, and at the end of the day have healthy people that can, lead healthy lives.
Yeah, very true and brilliant. Thank you very much, Fiorella.
Thank
Good
you,
luck.
Evan. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you. Ladies, thank you for your answers. They're all brilliant, guys. Please support your favorites. Vote for them in the Miss Supranational app. The voting link is in the description box below this video. It was Super Chat 2024 final. See you soon. Bye-bye.